What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism. Follow me on TikTok, like and subscribe, and all that on YouTube. So let's talk about this one. I've just seen a tweet. I think it would have been yesterday, a tweet or an X or whatever you call it, from Michael Benson regarding Turkey Al Sheikh, and Turkey Al Sheikh has come out and said that he wants to lower the price of pay-per-view. And for anyone who watches boxing or watches sport in general, but I want to say especially boxing, you will know that pay-per-view and pay-per-view prices have always been something that's a bit of an issue that there's various opinions on. Most people, I would say, pretty much find that these pay-per-views are overpriced. I mean, especially, I would argue, although I'm not an American, but in America, you hear these ridiculously high prices. They get charged like $80 for certain pay-per-view cards. I've heard prices of $100, $70. I mean, their prices are sort of always very high in America. It's very rare that you hear anything as far as American pay-per-view anywhere below sort of, I would say, $50, $60. That seems to be as low as they get, and you hardly get them that low. So there's very, very high pay-per-view prices, particularly in America. Here in the UK, we get them a lot lower than that. I mean, the highest that I think I've ever paid here in the UK is about, I think, £25. And I think that's the ceiling. That's as high as it's been. I don't think it's ever been to £30 or anything like that. But, obviously, it's a lot lower than what you would have to pay in America. So in some ways, we can be, quote unquote, grateful for that. But still, when you get a few of them in a row and you're already paying your TV subscription and all that, it is expensive to have to come out of the pocket again for pay-per-view, and these are tough economic times. So pay-per-view is a luxury that many people can't afford. Many people go through hard financial times, and to fork out an extra $80 if you're American, or 25 pounds if you're in the UK, is often too much. And Turkey Al Sheikh, he said that, look, he would rather have more fans for a lower price than charge a very high price and have people illegally stream the fights anyway. So he said, look, he believes that the best way forward is for him to charge less money, and he mentioned that he's going to charge only £20 for the next pay-per-view. So for us in the UK, it's going to be £20 for the Joshua versus Dubois, or Dubois versus Joshua fight, which is good news for us. That it's going to be less. It's not going to go up any. And apparently even better news for everyone else around the world, which I hope includes America. I can't say for sure that it does, but he said around the rest of the world it's going to be $20. So if that includes America, then if they're going to have it for now probably about 5 times less or 4 times less than what they'd normally get it. So and he said, yeah, the idea behind it is just simply that these pay-per-views have been far too expensive for far too long. And he said that this is because the situation is tough economically. These pay-per-views are expensive, and because they are that expensive, the fans are just going to go elsewhere, and they're gonna go and do things illegally. And he'd rather them not do it illegally. What he said in his statement is that he wants this to all be done legally, and he reckons that by having a pay-per-view at a good price, at a fair price, means that he's going to get more subscribers and more fans watching the sport legally, and less of them having to go to other means of getting it by sort of the streaming and all this sort of stuff, where you just watch from someone else's stream or use an illegal website, whatever. And yeah, he said even I think the Bivol versus Beterbiev bout, he said that's going to be lower because his aim is to kind of get the price below $20 or £20. So for that fight, which is going to be a very good card, it's going to be, I believe, £15 for us here in the UK, and it's going to be $15 for the rest of the world, which is quite, that's very, very impressive. That you've yeah, you can get it for as low as that. And I think, yeah, he does have a good point there, that the sky high prices, particularly I would say in the US, and I'm not sure about Canada. I think Canada also is very expensive, and I think, yeah, those sky high prices have driven people to piracy, simply because these cards and this product is not really affordable to the average person. The average person can't be, and it's the regularity, and it's, the fact that not only are they not affordable, but they're doing it, these pay-per-views, for fights that don't even deserve to be pay-per-views. These just sort of nonchalant fights that, just because they're fighting a superstar, like, for example, not to pick on Belanga Canelo, but that's a pay-per-view. And I mean, yes, okay, it might be competitive in spots, but it's kind of a fight where, okay, it's not really the big one that the fans want to see. So you get things like that where, okay, it's not even the fight. It's going to be big because it's Canelo, but it's not sort of the 50-50 fight that really deserves that pay-per-view status. And it's the same with, guys like Tank, where they're fighting a lot of guys, and it's pay-per-view. Like, I think it was that Frank Martin and guys like that, where, okay, they're decent fighters, but we all know it's kind of a foregone conclusion that Tank's going to win that one, and there you go, and you've got to pay for that. And it's the same with a lot of fighters, where I think, I can't recall if Joshua Franklin or Joshua Hellenius and some of these guys, but nonetheless, the idea is the same, that a lot of the time we get charged pay-per-view for fights that are not really worth it, and I think that's another thing that really puts the fans off. So for one, I think that this is an intelligent move by Turki Al-Sheikh to sort of bring the fans back to boxing. And I think if you make it now £15, you're kind of, that £15 is the same sort of price you could pay for, takeaway food, or, something of that nature. Is the same sort of price that you could pay to go to a cinema or something like that. So I think £15, £20 is, if it can be consistently at that sort of price, it's good. I think it's a good thing, especially for for the Americans, because they've had it like 10 times worse than we have over here in the UK when it comes to pay-per-view. They've had to really, really pay a lot of money. So I think for them, they deserve it, more than anyone, because of how much they pay every time. So yeah, for me, it's a good move by Turki Al-Sheikh, and it should probably draw more eyes to hopefully more bias to the Joshua versus Dubois fight. But I think that's going to do well regardless. I think it will be very helpful for Bivol Beterbiev, particularly in the American market, because those guys are known by the hardcore boxing fans, but not so much by the casuals. So if the casuals see, well, it's $15, it might sort of pique their interest a bit more. So yes, good move, positive move. I think you're always going to have piracy. You're always going to have people trying to watch the fights by other means, because maybe they feel in principle they should never be charged anything for boxing. Fair point. But I think this move of making it cheaper is definitely going to do a lot to sort of bolster boxing, and I think it's a very helpful move that if it's consistently quite low and affordable like this, then I think it may serve to do what Turki Al-Sheikh said, which is draw more fans, more subscribers to the platform, because they see that, okay, it's not going to cost me a fortune, it's going to cost me $15 or whatever. And yeah, for me, good move. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. And until next time, it's MKO Pugilism over and out.